Sup, Ryu here for the Yugioh Council for Tech Tuesday. Let's make this happen. We're talking about Foolish Burial with Belongings because we have not really gone in depth about this card just quite yet. So it's a pretty simple card. You send one spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard, and then you can only activate one of these per turn. And you're probably instantly going, okay, it's okay at best. Actually, no, it's actually amazing. So we're going to go down the decks that really get the most use out of this and talk about them one by one. So, Blue Eyes Return Dragon Lords. You know, you can stick that right in the graveyard, protect your investment. If you don't have it, it's another spell card that could pull one out of your deck. If you don't want a special something, it is a thing. The biggest thing I think that's going to get the most use out of this is definitely Paleozoics. Because Paleozoics, you could drop anything into the graveyard, any one of them into the graveyard, instantly be ready to just go off. And that may not seem like much, but considering the deck is getting Treat Toad and all of its support, this is a great way to do it. You can also use generic stuff like Breakthrough Skill, Galaxy Cyclone, Mischief of the Gnomes, I think Mischief of the Yokai as well. There's two different ones, that's why. And you could also send Metamorphosis Fusion for sort of an upstart goblin because you're not going to lose anything, you're just going to put a card in your hand. So you deck them by one. So that's something to take into account. If you're still playing Monarchs, you can go for some of their stuff that's in the grave. You can go for any of the Phantom Knight cards that are going to get you another search, that's something, or a special summon. Volcanics, instant Raigeki right off this one fucking card. It's amazing. Raid Raptors, you can drop Astral Force or any other rank up force, go Necro Vulture, tribute the Necro Vulture, and just go off. Have your card right then and there. That requires a little more setup than the typical methods or the other methods I talked about, but hey, it is something you could do. And one of my favorite things to do with this card that I have not really done with yet, but trust me, it works out so great, is Gem Knights. Just pure Gem Knights, send the fusion to the graveyard, send the card to the graveyard, pop it back to hand, and just go ham. And it is so easy to do because it's such an easy setup to just go off and just abuse the crap out of this card. There's also a combo. So for the Rise to Full Height Sideframe Lord Omega combo, let's put it that way, you use Foolish Burial of Belongings to stick Rise to Full Height to the graveyard, and when you do, you just make a Sideframe Lord Omega as you typically would, and then on your standby phase, you banish out the Rise to Full Height. Now your opponent can only target Sideframe Lord Omega for an attack. Use Sideframe Lord Omega's banish effect as you typically would, and by doing so, your opponent cannot attack that turn because the target is removed from the field, and since it is removed from the field and they're forced to attack Sideframe Lord Omega, they won't be able to. Then the following turn, Sideframe Lord Omega comes back, you wait to standby phase, you put the Rise to Full Height, and you do it all over again. The easiest way to counteract that is the new pot card that's coming out in Invasion Vengeance. It's also basically just setting your whole hand as fast as possible because it is a disgusting combo. It's a very disgusting combo, and this makes it so much more consistent. There's, if I already talked about this, forgive me, because you can use this in Gem Knights. One of my favorite things to do is in Gem Knights, basically, you send this to the graveyard, and then you send a Gem Knight to the graveyard from your hand, and you can add this and just keep going, or oh wait, no, you could banish a Gem Knight monster from your graveyard, add this to your hand. Okay. So you could stick this in your graveyard, do the whole typical Gem Knight thing, and then just have this to go off again, which is always great, and then just easy as fuck to do. Metamorphosis Fusion gives you a upstart goblin for free, pretty much. UA penalty box, you can search out any UA spell card that you want. Is it spell card only? Yes, it is. You can pretty much do anything that you would normally do with magical hats, you could do that way. You could do Toy Vendor, or you could throw Polymerization to the graveyard and then basically just pull it back out of the graveyard. Hell, I think even Lunalights can benefit from that from some degree. No, wait, no, they can't. I was thinking of something completely else. There's plenty of different things to use this for, and we're just scratching the surface, to be honest about this, no pun intended. But that Rise to Full Height combo just becomes so much more consistent, so much more nasty, and so much more of an issue than it typically is. But I do want to know what you guys think, what you want to use it for. I mean, there is one other one before we go. You could also use it for Raid Raptors, and then use Necrovulture to bring back the rum card rank up magic that you send to the graveyard. That is something, but it requires a little bit more. You could also send Kaiju Slumber to the graveyard and benefit off of that, so that's a thing too. But let me know what you guys think down below, and if you're brand new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more, drop a like and drop a comment, and I will see you guys tomorrow for